The number one question our clients ask after we've completed their reserve study is, how much more do our homeowners need to pay each month? It's all too common for reserve funding to be thought of as an optional extra fee that increases the cost of home ownership. The truth is, reserve funding is not optional. Join us for the introduction to this webinar to learn why. Well, thank you, Kali, and for everyone attending, thank you for joining us today. Today's curriculum is Reserve Studies 103, so Wayne and I are here to help you understand your reserve funding plan, and we'll show you it's a financial journey with some things out of your control and some things in your control. You're the one that needs to be making properly sized reserve transfers in order to prepare for the large upcoming reserve project at your association so you can get those projects accomplished on time. Doing your reserve projects on time will minimize the higher reserve funding needed when you have deferred maintenance. And what we find is reserve projects are already expensive enough. So having the cash on hand to do reserve projects on time will also maximize owner pride of ownership, and it will also maximize property values. So today we're going to show you how to make those wise decisions. And this is the outline we're going to use today to talk about reserve funding. At its simplest, it's just the cash necessary to offset ongoing deterioration. A hotel charges a daily rate, so the funds exist so that re-roofing, recarpeting, and repainting all get done on schedule without having to special assess unlucky guests checking in the week before the carpeting needs to be replaced. And it's the same everywhere else. Rental cars, apartments, health clubs, they all collect enough funds on an ongoing basis to sustain their assets or facilities. This is not a new concept. So you should be budgeting to collect sufficient cash on an ongoing basis to do all your scheduled projects in a timely manner. During today's program, we're going to help you see how that's done. Reserves are important because if you have roofing or asphalt or even just gates or a tot lot, you're going to have reserve expenses. Everything deteriorates. Reserve expenses are by definition too big to absorb into the ongoing operational budget. Typically, they're huge. Our job as a reserve site provider is to guide you so that you know how much to set aside, so when the time comes to perform the project, the funds exist. This means funding on an ongoing basis during the time your components are gradually deteriorating. So we figured we'd start out with a pro tip right here at the beginning, making it clear that ongoing reserve funding is not an additional cost, making life at the association more expensive. The roof is going to fail, and likely right on schedule in plain sight, and it will be expensive. Your choice is if the homeowners at your association set aside a little bit of money each month over the 20 or so years the roof serves the association, offsetting that ongoing steady deterioration, or if your homeowners pay for it all at once in a special assessment when the roof fails. It's the same cost either way. There is no escaping the cost. So reserve funding is not an additional cost. It's just a different way to pay the same cost of deterioration. Now, it's fiscally responsible to tell your owners the true cost of ownership along the way, like a hotel does, rather than bumping along from one unwanted and unfair special assessment to another, giving your owners false and unrealistic expectations that low monthly assessments will be all it costs to be a member of the association. This is just going to set them up to complain, as they should, each time there's a special assessment for an eminently predictable expense. So why not just have them pay the true cost of ownership on an ongoing basis, running a smooth financial operation? So today, you'll see that Wayne and I call them reserve funding obligations or a reserve funding recommendation. They're not contributions. There's nothing optional about reserve funding. Your assets are deteriorating, and the board is responsible to budget to maintain the assets of the association. Look at it, you'll see it there in your governing documents. Just as you have a water bill or a management bill each month, the roof and the asphalt are all deteriorating each month. Those deterioration bills are bills just like every other bill that you need to pay. They're real, and if you ignore them, they don't go away, they just accumulate. At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.